Hey guys, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious. Hope I got your attention with that title, and I 100% mean that title, by the way. So let's talk about it. I'm lucky enough, my wife and I, our eldest son, Mickey, and our middle child, Henry, 8 and 5, they're both playing soccer this year. So we're watching them, my wife and I, we played soccer for many, many years, and we never consider ourselves to be like those parents who are like getting super active on the sidelines, but we definitely are when it comes to Mickey and Henry. We're watching them learn the game. We know that game so well. So here's an example for you, okay? They're learning how to play defense. They were told that when you play defense, your job is to support the goalie, so you're right by the goalie. But of course, if the play and the ball evolves past your zone and goes there, what is a good defenseman gonna do? You're not supposed to stay statically there doing what you were instructed to do. You have to be dynamic, right? You've got to think critically, right? And say, if my players are up on their side, let's move all the way up to the halfway point, maybe even further, put that pressure on. That's what I mean by the difference between critical thinking and not. And the number one reason otherwise qualified people at the high level are getting passed up for roles is they're not exercising that. Critical thinking is becoming a defunct exercise. They're not teaching it in school. They're not teaching it in business school. They're not teaching it out there. And when you look at the landscape, is it any surprise? I mean, grab your iPhone, grab your iPad. How much of that is actually geared towards helping you create something versus just consume something? The more you consume, the more reactive you are. The more of a good employee you are, the more you're missing the entire point of hiring. Because in hiring, especially high-level hiring, it is not about taking anything at face value. It is all about applying critical thinking skills, critical reasoning skills actively in the moment. And if you're not doing that and you're getting passed over, we now know why. So let's go through it, okay? Here's what you need to understand. Just because someone is hiring for a role, just because a CEO, someone is interviewing you or having a meeting with you, just because they've acknowledged the fact that they have some pain that they want to solve, doesn't mean that that's the story. If I go to see a doctor and I say, I'm overdue for a checkup, are you just going to take my word for it? Or are you going to assess and find out what's going on? How do you know I haven't actually been worried about the fact that I might have cancer? And the excuse of the appointment is what allowed me to follow through. Most employers will not give you the true story. You must find the true story. And in your finding the true story, you are giving people the first most important proof of concept of your ability to deliver. If you say there, you say, that's what's going on, here's what I can do. It just stays in this surface level. You have no trust. You have no authority. You haven't shown anything. So let's talk about it, okay? Here's what you must find out in every single hiring discussion, every single meeting, okay? What are the biggest pain points driving this hire? What are the areas of the business that are bleeding out if they don't solve it? What have they done to previously solve that problem? Have they hired anyone for it? What went right? What went wrong? What are the specifics? You need to learn that. What happens if they can't ever solve this, right? If they're trying to hire for a chief marketing officer, they've hired 2 other people in the past, they're losing 30 to 40% of revenue, and they have no idea how to solve it, trust me, their hiring process is flawed. So what happens if they never find this person? What happens to the company? Is there a future to this company? How quickly does the rest of the wheels fall off the bus? You got to know this. And finally, what is the deeper context on both the individual level of the person you're speaking with, in respect to the team that they lead, in respect to the company? You've got to know where the pain lands and where it's felt the most. These are the big things that you've got to find. Your job is not to be Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect candidate. You're way beyond that point, okay? When we're talking senior management, when we're talking executive leadership, this is a game and a negotiation. And it starts with you being able to identify the information that is most relevant to you, that is going to give you the most leverage. This is the information. So a few ways to get to that point faster. Get personal quickly. Go with whoever you're speaking with, pull up their profile, find things to love about them, talk about their personal journey, be a good student, learn and understand from their perspective right off the get-go. Don't be cagey about it. Certainly don't send your resume out there and wait for them to take the lead. You take the lead, okay? 80-20. I want you to assume that any information that you get from an employer, especially early on, 80% of it is either incorrect or facile or useless. Look for the 20. What is the 20%? A lot of times the 20% will be revealed through behavior, not through words. You tell me, yeah, it's pretty good. We have this thing here, but you're picking up on the fear. You're picking up on the hesitance. You're picking up on the doubt. So I know that there's something there. So I need to follow up a little bit more with that, right? I need to be compassionate. I need to ask a few more questions. I need to make it clear that the problems that you guys may be dealing with might seem like, you guys are alone in a life raft, but you're not. I've spoken with Amazon, I've spoken with this company, I've spoken with this company, and I'm telling you, they are all experiencing this. So together, let's look at doing this in a different way, right? So I want you to imagine 80% of the information that you are getting from an employer is irrelevant. Make an arc in for that 20%. What is that 20%? What don't they want you to find out? How much worse is it than they are thinking of it, okay? I don't want you to talk about the solution until you understand the real problem. This is the crux of why critical thinking is so important in hiring. If you say, I have problem A, B, and C, and I, with good intention, say, oh, you have problem A, B, and C? I can solve A, B, and C. I'm never going to get to an offer. You know why? Because the person who told me their problems are A, B, and C, even they know that's not the whole thing. Even they know that's a justification, it's weak sauce. So if it doesn't progress beyond that, I don't want you to waste one iota of your time talking about your history or pitching or presenting yourself or positioning yourself. You're not at that point because they fooled you and they won't take you seriously unless you find the truth that they would rather you not see. That is your goal. And just to end it, I want to leave you and I want you to write this down and start using them. Here are some questions that you can use in any conversation to go deeper beneath surface level, okay? Here's an easy one. Let's go beneath the surface level here. Here's another one. What are you not telling me about this? Here's another one. And that's it? ... Here's another one. Let's take a slightly different angle on all of this. How is this affecting this side of things? Right? What's the deeper why? I think we both know it's not just a sales issue. Here's another one. Let's allow ourselves to be a little incorrect for a moment and call this for what it is. And now I'm verbalizing this problem in a really terrible fashion, the way that I see it. And what am I doing? I'm backdooring in and backfilling in context. I'm backfilling in understanding, and through my questions, through my follow-ups, I'm inviting you to paint in those details as well. Because once we start understanding that, and most importantly, once you start agreeing with me that these are problems at this level, now me and you, we can start talking solution. Now we have the right stakes involved. Don't move into latter stages of hiring until you are confident that you have understood what is really going on. All right? Critical thinking, that's the 5%. That's the make or break. All right? Hope that makes sense. If you want to go deeper into my world, I hope you know that me and my team at this point, we are trucking in a way of getting results that no one else out here is remotely talking about. They don't want you to know this stuff. If you do, helloanish.com, HELLOANISH.com is our headquarters. That's where you want to go next. You will not regret it. There's a lot of exclusive free training, including a brand new masterclass I put up there that will help you go deeper down this path right now. All right? Have a great rest of the day. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow us on YouTube. Keep the questions coming. Talk soon, guys.